Aliens' shocking discovery: humans are the true elder species. The Galactic Collective had existed for millennia, a sprawling federation of thousands of alien species united by a shared thirst for knowledge and exploration. Each member species brought with them tales of their ancient pasts, detailing their rise from primitive beginnings to their eventual mastery of technology and space travel. Yet, one enigma had always eluded them: a world nestled on the fringes of the galaxy, long abandoned and surrounded by mysteries. Earth. When humanity first made contact with the Galactic Collective, they were assumed to be a younger species. Their technology, while impressive in its versatility, lacked the sophistication of the more established civilizations. Humans were hardy, adaptable, and resourceful, but to the Collective, they were merely newcomers. It was only when an expedition to Earth was proposed that everything changed. The expedition. The Collective's archaeological team, composed of several alien species, arrived on Earth expecting to uncover relics of a brief, primitive history. What they found instead left them stunned. Beneath the surface, buried under millennia of sediment and tectonic shifts, were vast, ancient ruins that predated anything the Collective had ever encountered. Great cities of unimaginable scale, their architecture infused with advanced technology so old it was crumbling to dust. The ruins suggested a civilization not just advanced, but ancient beyond comprehension. Kareth, as archaeologist from the amphibious Lari race, examined a fragment of what appeared to be a power conduit. This material predates our own civilization by at least 2 million years, she murmured, her voice tinged with awe. What kind of beings could have built this? Asked Jortak, a reptilian war historian. The humans present on the expedition team exchanged uneasy glances. You're saying, we did this? Captain Rachel Carter, the human representative, asked. No, Kareth said, turning the fragment over in her webbed hands. I'm saying your species once ruled the stars. The revelation. As the team delved deeper into Earth's ancient past, more evidence emerged. Records etched into near indestructible materials depicted humans as cosmic explorers, masters of genetics, and wielders of technology that could manipulate the very fabric of reality. Yet, the records also hinted at a downfall. A cataclysmic event, still shrouded in mystery, seemed to have wiped out this ancient humanity, scattering their survivors back to Earth, stripped of their technological prowess. These remnants had slowly rebuilt over millennia, forgetting their glorious past. When the findings were presented to the Collective Council, the chamber fell silent. For centuries, the Collective had believed the elder species of the galaxy, those who left behind ruins and technology, were extinct. But now, it seemed one of those species had not only survived but thrived in oblivion. You, humans, the counselor of the insectoid Krillithians finally said, his mandibles clicking nervously, you are the elder species. The impact. The revelation sent shockwaves through the galaxy. Humans were no longer seen as upstarts, they were respected, revered, and feared. Their potential was no longer just in their adaptability but in their very nature. If humanity had achieved such heights once, who was to say they couldn't do it again? Meanwhile, back on Earth, humanity grappled with the weight of its forgotten legacy. The ruins and relics of their ancient past became sites of study and reflection, but also a source of caution. We were gods once, Captain Carter said to her team, gazing at the ruins of a once mighty tower. Let's make sure we don't make the same mistakes. Across the galaxy, the Collective watched and waited, uncertain if humanity's rise would usher in an era of enlightenment, or if history would repeat itself. Humanity's awakening. As humanity processed the staggering implications of its rediscovered legacy, a new era of collaboration began. The Galactic Collective extended an unprecedented offer to Earth: access to their archives, technologies, and the freedom to explore the galaxy unrestricted. It wasn't charity, it was insurance. The Collective wanted to ensure that humanity's second rise was one they could observe, guide, and, if necessary, mitigate. But humans had their own plans. In the vast ruins beneath Earth's surface, dormant systems began to hum with life as human scientists learned to reactivate ancient technologies. Earth itself became a massive archaeological dig site, with discoveries ranging from faster-than-light engines to devices capable of terraforming entire planets. One by one, fragments of their ancestors' knowledge were pieced together. Yet, amid the progress, an undercurrent of unease rippled through humanity. The ancient records hinted at something more profound and terrifying than technological collapse. There were whispers of an external threat, a force that had brought humanity's golden age to its knees. The warning. On a remote dig site in what was once the Sahara Desert, a breakthrough occurred. A hidden vault, buried deep beneath layers of sand and stone, was unearthed. Unlike the other ruins, this vault was intact and seemed designed to last eternally. Inside, the team found what appeared to be a message left by ancient humanity. Holographic projections displayed a figure, a human elder clad in ornate robes, their voice echoing with urgency. To those who come after us, the projection began, we leave this message as a warning, beware the silence. The message detailed a cosmic entity, or perhaps a civilization, that operated beyond the perception of most sentient beings. The silence was described as relentless, consuming advanced civilizations the moment they reached a certain threshold of power. The projection ended with a grim proclamation. We fought them, we lost, but we were not the first they destroyed, nor will we be the last. Should you rise again, remember this, they are always watching. A divided galaxy. The revelation of the silence fractured the galactic collective. Some species argued that humanity's awakening was a beacon that would draw the entity's attention. Others believed humanity's rediscovered knowledge and resilience made them the galaxy's best hope for survival. For humanity, the path forward was clear: prepare for the inevitable. They accelerated their efforts, not just in rediscovering their past but in forging a future that could withstand the coming storm. Earth united as never before, driven by a shared purpose. Militaries became research institutions, borders dissolved in the face of the cosmic threat. Humanity's ingenuity and adaptability, traits once seen as curiosities by the collective, became their greatest assets. First contact. It happened sooner than anyone anticipated. Deep space probes sent to the far reaches of the galaxy began to vanish. Entire systems went dark, their inhabitants leaving only cryptic warnings behind. Then, on the edge of the galaxy, humanity's newly commissioned flagship, Erebus, encountered the silence. What the Erebus encountered was not a single entity but an incomprehensible amalgamation of darkness and light, shifting and writhing as if it existed in multiple dimensions at once. Communications failed, and the crew braced for annihilation. But humanity's ancient instincts kicked in. The Erebus's captain, Elena Vasquez, ordered the activation of an experimental device reverse-engineered from the ruins, a disruption field that distorted reality itself. The silence recoiled, retreating into the void. Humanity had survived the first encounter, but the message was clear: the silence had noticed their return. The final frontier. With the silence looming, humanity's role in the galaxy shifted. No longer seen as mere members of the collective, they became its reluctant leaders. Humanity spearheaded efforts to unite the fractured factions, sharing their rediscovered knowledge and building coalitions to prepare for the coming war. But even as they strengthened alliances and expanded their reach, a question lingered: could humanity's legacy, both its triumphs and its mistakes, guide the galaxy to survival, or were they doomed to repeat the cycle of rise and fall? As humanity ventured into the stars, the ruins of Earth stood as a reminder of their ancient power and their ancient failure. The silence was coming. This time, they would be ready. The Silent War. The Silent War, as it came to be known, didn't begin with a bang. It began with the terrifying silence that followed the first encounter. The silence, an enigmatic and unknowable entity, seemed to exist outside the laws of time and space. Its arrival marked the beginning of a new kind of warfare, one where communication and understanding were the first casualties. Humanity, for the first time in their long history, faced an enemy that was not just more powerful but fundamentally alien in a way that defied all comprehension. The silence wasn't a species, it was a force, an entity with no form, no mind, only an insatiable hunger that devoured entire civilizations, leaving nothing behind but emptiness. At first, the collective attempted to engage in traditional warfare, sending fleets, launching fleets of ships equipped with advanced weaponry, but nothing seemed to work. The silence didn't fight, they simply erased anything that came into contact with them. Planets vanished without warning, star systems blinked out of existence. The best weapons of the collective, hypernovas, quantum disruptors, and singularity bombs, were useless against the silence. The revelation of the silence. In the months following the first encounter, humanity scrambled to understand their enemy. It was during this time that a breakthrough came, not from the collective, but from an unlikely source, an ancient human relic, an artifact uncovered during an expedition to a long-lost city. This artifact, a crystalline orb, contained a message, but it wasn't a warning, it was a history. It depicted an event from Earth's past, long before humanity's fall from grace, an event in which humans, at the height of their power, had created the silence. According to the fragmented records, the silence wasn't an outside force, but a self-made catastrophe. The ancient human civilization had been on the brink of unlocking the ultimate potential of reality itself, an experiment that sought to control time, space, and consciousness, but the experiment had gone horribly wrong, shattering the very fabric of existence and birthing the silence. The silence, as it turned out, wasn't a destructive force, it was the consequence of the laws of reality being broken. It was a side effect of humanity's attempt to transcend their physical limits. They had created it, and now they were facing the consequences of their own ambition. Humanity's last hope. The discovery rocked humanity to its core. They had not only awakened their forgotten past, but they now understood that their ancestors were the architects of their own doom. The silence had been their own creation, a cosmic blunder that had returned, not to conquer, but to undo everything humanity had ever built. The question then became, could humanity undo what they had done? Could they find a way to destroy the silence before it erased them all? Scientists, engineers, and philosophers from every corner of Earth and the collective began to work together. Humanity, once again, had to pull from their ancient knowledge and innovative spirit to find a solution, and as they worked, one theory began to gain traction. Humanity's forgotten technology, the one that had caused the silence in the first place, was still out there. They had the keys to their salvation. However, there was a catch. The technology needed to close the rift between reality and the silence existed deep within the heart of a forgotten world, the last surviving stronghold of humanity's ancient empire. This world, known as Altharion, had once been a center of learning and power, but it had long since been abandoned. The silence had already passed over it, erasing everything, but it was the only place that might hold the answers. The quest for Altharion. A massive fleet, led by the human flagship Erebus, was assembled for a journey beyond the known galaxy. The mission was simple but impossible: retrieve the ancient technology hidden within the ruins of Altharion before the silence could find it. Captain Elena Vasquez stood on the bridge of the Erebus, staring at the vastness of space before her. "This is it," she said. "There's no turning back now. If we don't stop this, we lose everything." The journey to Altharion would take years, and it would be perilous. The silence had already begun to close in on their position, erasing systems one by one, but the humans had a weapon they hadn't yet wielded: unity. Earth's inhabitants had long been divided by politics, religion, and differences. Now, with the very survival of their species at stake, they stood together as one. As the fleet entered the unknown reaches of space, they encountered not just danger but awe-inspiring phenomena, anomalies where the fabric of space itself was unraveling, stars that blinked in and out of existence. They were closing in on the edge of reality, the very boundary where the silence originated, and when they finally reached Altharion, they found something that could save them. The final battle. Altharion was a world of ruin, its once great cities now shattered by the destructive force of the silence, but buried beneath the surface, hidden in a vast underground city, was the core of humanity's greatest invention, an ancient machine capable of restoring the balance of the universe. It was a weapon, yes, but it was also a key to undoing the damage they had caused. As the fleet prepared to deploy the device, the silence descended upon Altharion. This time, they came not to simply erase, but to finish what they had started. It was a battle for the very soul of reality itself. The silence manifested in waves, consuming entire fleets in an instant, but humanity fought back with the technology they had recovered, and with the will to survive that had always defined them. Captain Vasquez stood before the ancient device, her fingers trembling as she activated the machine. A brilliant light erupted from the core, tearing through the fabric of space and reality, pushing back the silence with an intensity the galaxy had never seen. The cosmic entity recoiled, and for the first time in its existence, it was forced to retreat. But the battle was not over. The silence was still out there, lurking in the vast expanse of the universe, waiting for another moment to strike. Humanity had won the first round, but the war was far from over. The true test had only just begun.